Here are 10 things you didn't know about Adolf Hitler. 1. Hitler was rejected from art school more than once. We know that Hitler's failed art career eventually led to his life of fascism, but you may not know that he actually applied to art school twice, and was rejected so hard the second time that he wasn't even allowed to sit in on the entry exams. Even now, art experts maintain that Hitler was a subpar artist. You lose. 2. Speaking of art, surprise, Hitler loved iconic German artists. Hitler's affinity for classic German artists could be seen in his own work, which is why it's easy to draw the parallels between Hitler's sketches and the works of painter Hans Thoma. Other favorites? Albrect Durer, Cranach the Elder, and Johannes Vermeer, all of which you probably would have preferred not to be. 3. He practiced for speeches by taking photos of himself making speeches. 1925, Adolf Hitler miming one of his speeches in Munich. A megalomaniac supreme, Hitler was so obsessed with his image that he had photographer Heinrich Hoffmann take photos of him making speeches, so he could see how badass he looked. Fortunately for us, despite being told to destroy the photos afterwards, Hoffmann did not and included them in his memoir instead. And for that we are all truly grateful. 4. He was an out-of-control spender. Hitler was out of control in general, obviously, but biographer Volker Ulrich recently uncovered that the Führer actually spent thousands on opulence, cars, champagne, clothes, etc., while pretending to be a man of the people. What didn't he spend money on? Income tax. Because of course he didn't. 5. Hitler was once ordered to trim his mustache. Hitler and his mustache go together better than any comparison I can possibly make, but his preferred mustache style was actually of the handlebar variety. Unfortunately for him, during World War I service he was ordered to scale it back so it would fit underneath gas masks. Which didn't work, he was gassed in 1918 and temporarily blinded. 6. He loved Disney. The sooner we stop trying to understand Hitler, the better. However, while Disney represents kids' films and family to us, to the dictator, it represented the advance of technology since Snow White boasted some pretty impressive animation circuits 1937 release. Rumor has it he also felt strongly for King Kong because of its special effects, and watched both that and war films repeatedly. 7. Hitler's obsession with Wagner began eons before World War II. At age 12, Hitler stumbled upon Wagner and he never looked back. Writing in Mein Kampf that he was addicted after attending the opera, Lohengrin, Hitler reportedly skipped school to attend the opera well into his teens. Probably should have gone to those art classes instead. 8. Rumor has it that Hitler had bred an army of talking dogs. A picture dated 1939 shows German Nazi Chancellor and dictator Adolf Hitler with his German Shepherd dog. According to Dr. Jan Bonson, Hitler and his henchmen rounded up educated dogs with whom they communicated, through taping paws, barking, and wagging their tails, and got even one to bark, "Mein Führer." These dogs were supposed to help win the war, apparently, which makes a bit of sense considering Hitler was heavily attached to his dogs, Blondie and Bella. The former, he killed before killing himself. 9. Hitler was a vegetarian who was diligent about food testing. Surprisingly, just kidding, Hitler was a paranoid person. So paranoid, in fact, that he employed food tasters who on one side, got to enjoy the crème de la crème of German cuisine, during a time of rations and starvation. After an attempted assassination, he basically kept his food tasters imprisoned, according to Margot Woelk, who had to suffer through the terrible ordeal. 10. His favorite actor only died in 2011. At age 108, Hitler's favorite actor, the Dutch Johannes Vermeer, passed away. However, despite being a favorite of the dictator and the SS, Vermeer was still allowed to perform because the Allies didn't think he was involved in Nazi propaganda. Because he did perform for the Nazi regime, he was still scrutinized for several decades. Thanks for watching and subscribe for more.